Right, so hello, good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Africa. This is the newspaper review segment with me, Kwame, Owusu, Danso. Today, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for a number of reasons because, alas, I have all the personalities for Wednesday here intact and ready to share with us their fountain of knowledge. I'm excited, super excited to have in the studios with me for the first time, again, in so many months, Mr. Edgar Redu, who is here seated. Good morning to you, sir. I think I've seen some changes. The beard has come down. We'll talk about that. Also here seated is the MP elect. The MP elect for Anya Soutuom constituency in the person of Dr. Honorable Dr. Adumagu Gisi. Good morning to you. How are you doing? Charlie, we're happy for you.
Thank you.
You know, when a friend of mine won in the Northeast constituency, I went to write on Facebook, one down, one more to go. And somebody said, I like that guy, he should win. I'm like, he's going to win. You know, so I'm happy he won. And I don't know whether I should say the substantive or the MP elect or re-elect. Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpu, the indefatigable, the lion of Wa Central, the Mugabe of Wa Central. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
I trust you're doing well. You've lost your voice.
Yeah.
It's been a very tiring experience for you.
That's true.
Owing primarily to the fact that, you've had like some latitude of representation in Parliament. And this is not new to you. I'm sure Adumagu Gisi is still, on cloud 9, trying to breathe it in and appreciate, what it comes with. But you had an enormous experience in that space. Mm-hmm. But this was keen, right?
Yeah.
It was keen. How's the feeling now? Because it's always been more like a walk in the park for you.
Really, it was a tough elections.
Yeah.
At a time from opposition, you have your opponent with all the state resources at her disposal, firing at you and doing all the things she can do, including, giving out goodies, gifts, and they expect that you are sitting MP, you should match up to her.
You mean the head dryers?
Everything else. Head dryers, tricycles, and sewing machines, money, all the kinds of gifts.
Second-hand clothing.
Second-hand clothing.
Christmas came early.
Everything else was being given out. And so if you are caught in that situation and you don't have anything to match with that,
you'll be sweating your pants.
You should use your brains.
Yeah.
In fact, the brain power is greater than all of that. So I consigned myself to my thinking and strategy, and that's won the day. And I said that it was quality leadership versus politics of gifts. Very absurd way of doing politics.
Yeah. I'm sure Edgar is very excited for the both of you. Edgar.
Oh, naturally. These are my brothers, and even during the primary stages, we are all like, they got to carry the day and all that. Unfortunately, on that day, they all deserted me.
Oh.
Yeah, they deserted me. Whilst I was praying and wishing them good luck and sending them messages and all that, they didn't remind me.
Oh, your own brothers.
Oh, I said now before this one has replied this one. Well, that day, even the seventh day. Yeah. How many days now? 1 week now.
Yeah.
It is now that he has replied.
Like now to speak now.
Yes, that he has replied the message that. And I said, look at all this. Me, I did hear my heart is
in a pump.
The yelling for them. Look at them.
Oh,
they'll pay the price for it.
Thank you. I like that.
And me, my own is more than the sewing machine and that country.
I'm excited to have all of you here. Very excited to be reunited again. And this morning we're going to be touching on a number of stories. Mahama wants results audited, but MPP disagrees. Daily Analyst. Police caution against unlawful protests. Daily Graphic. Probe all electoral crimes. 16 CSOs charge the police. Break down vehicles. Hunt for prey. And I'm sure that you have been following the stories about how, within a matter of seconds, weeks, we've had some accidents occur on our roads, and I think it's instructive that we touch on this particular issue. Also, Japan wants Bevulolate says it's under monitoring 27 times a day. That's on the front page of the Insight newspaper. So these are the topics that we've tabled for our conversation this morning, and you can share with us what your thoughts are via WhatsApp number 0260846539, and we're also streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/Pan-African Television. Be kind enough to share with us what your thoughts are. You can equally send it to me via my Twitter handle, which is Kwame Owusu Danso. Facebook is Kwame Owusu Danso. Instagram is Kwame Owusu Danso. Let's connect on there and let's have a very wonderful conversation this morning. Gentlemen, thank you very, very kindly for your time. I know you guys are all tired, and I know you guys are all, exhausted. Of course. But thank you very, very much. So let's start the conversation with the just ended elections and the brouhaha surrounding it. And Edgar, because you have not been here in a while, I think I would respectfully want to start with you. Mahama wants results audited by an independent audit firm or independent auditor. Please. But MPP, of course, will disagree with that. What do you have to say, sir?
Well, let me officially say good morning. You did not give me the opportunity to say good morning, but started with all your flowery kind of introductions and things like that. But that is right, understandable. It's normal. Mahama wants the results audited. I think Mahama feels or believes that something went wrong in the elections. But you see, the problem I have is that in matters like this, someone says it is evidence-based. You don't just speak without evidence. The evidence must be available, and then you put your case before the law court. Because we don't have any provisions in our electoral laws that gives one that kind of right to say, I want this thing audited. That can only come from the court. You get it? So yes, when you say you want it audited, the MPP guys will say, you don't have that. I mean, they can say whatever they want to say. And we are tired of unnecessary noise in the system. But meanwhile, you have a place you can pass your grievance through, and that is the court. Okay? And it is not like it's a new thing. In the 2012 elections, when Nanado felt that there was something wrong, right? He went through the process, petitioning the court. The court found a need for certain documentations to be audited. Mm-hmm. So the court ordered, is it KPMG and what have you, to audit the documents. You get it? Yes. So it's very simple. You believe that something untoward has happened, something has gone wrong and everything. Don't waste the time. There's a time frame, there's a procedure and everything. Make use of what is available, all right? Go to court. And then let the court take up the other issues. As part of your reliefs, you can put it in there that you want X, Y, Z. The court will look at it. If the court finds it as a genuine reason, why not? The court will allow it. But what is disturbing is the fact that I read something on, is it Ghana Web, attributed to, is it Baba Jamal, right? Saying that is it Techiman South? Yeah, the Techiman South, yeah. Right? Talking about the fact that they don't have the evidence. So if you don't have the evidence, then why the noise? The other question I ask myself is this. Every polling station, right, is entitled to a copy of the pink sheet. And that is the primary document. Or my brother MPs, isn't that the case? That is the primary document. So even I saw something on social media where is it lawyer? Is it Adaudu was and then Asidu Ketia was speaking to is it some? I think the collation the district the presiding officer, and he is saying that he hasn't got the documents. The documents are with the regional how do you call it?
Returning officer.
officer. Yeah. That I also have a problem with that, and you media guys, some of these things, I think you have to be blamed for. Having made such a statement, right? You have to find out from the EC. You have to find out from the EC that what that gentleman is saying, is that the position? It's certainly not the position. Because here is somebody on tape saying that the document, he has passed the document on to, how do you call it?
The presiding officer.
No, the regional returning officer. Yeah. But meanwhile, that document, I believe, is supposed to be faxed to the regional, how do you call it? The collation center definitely has the original, and then they forward a fax copy to the headquarters. Yeah. So you can't tell me that you are not keeping a copy. Yeah. You need to have a copy. So this guy has made such a statement. And then the question is this: everybody leaves it. But someone should have followed up to EC office. Jane Mensah, is the position of what this guy is saying in the case? If not, what has the EC done to this guy for making such a statement that is out in public, that he hasn't got a document?
Yeah. Mr. Eda, let's interrogate the issues further. Perhaps Mahama is asking for an audit of the whole process because of also the position of course, the things that have been done by the Electoral Commission, which do not find expression in law. Because the law says a declaration must be made, but it must be a one-time declaration. It must not be a declaration made and subsequently changed. So the presumption of fact would be that once you have made a definitive statement through that declaration, and you subsequently change that, it means that you are not even sure of what you are declaring. So which of the votes should we take? So on that basis, one would say that the EC should have also gone to court to seek, an approval, sort of, for another declaration to be made for and on behalf of the MPP. But so moto, they took that decision. So one can also safely assume that on the basis of that, John Dramani Mahama can also ask for an independent audit, into the process, for us to appreciate whether or not the numbers that have been churned out by EC are a true reflection of the mandate of the people or not. Sir.
No, you see, let me just explain one thing to you. You can have whatever thinking.
Okay.
You can have whatever grounds. You can have whatever you believe in. But the fact remains that it is only the court that can grant what you are asking. So Mahama is asking for independent. Who will set up that independent audit? Who will set up that independent audit? Nobody has the power to set up any independent audit except the court. So whatever your grievances are, yes, you can have 30 million grievances. But it is only the court that can allow it to happen. So if Mahama says he wants an independent audit, who has the power to appoint who? There are no provisions in our law that suggest so. I have a misunderstanding. I have a grievance. I think this declaration was done properly. I think this declaration was not done properly. I think these people did not count this. I think these people messed up this. You go to court. It is only the court that can say, okay, you've brought your matter. I'm not going to deal with it. So, having listened to you, I think I need independent auditors. Okay? So maybe I can ask PwC. PwC, go to, how do you call it? The constituency. Okay? KPMG, go to the polling station. Penal, whatever, you go to that place. Or whatever. It is only the court that can do it. So no matter how genuine your grievances are, the provisions in our electoral laws, there's nothing to say that if somebody is aggrieved, he can set up an audit.
But the action of the EC, is it lawful?
Go to court. Kwame, if I have a problem with you, right? If I have a problem with you, I keep saying, you see, the basis of that 28th April 1992 referendum that we had in this country was for the simple reason that, or let me first of all come back to a point. When the Constitution was suspended, the 1979 Constitution, when it was suspended, right, a few portions of the Constitutions were saved. and that is the judiciary, in one or two places. When the 92 Constitution came, then the whole 79 Constitution was abrogated because certain portions of the 79 Constitutions were saved. That referendum that we all went and said we wanted the 1992 Constitution, inside that Constitution is in there clearly that when there's a problem between you and I, there's no point for we to pull machetes. There's no point for us to throw blows. There's no point for us to consult any whatever. We agreed that if there's a problem, we will go to courts for the court to resolve the problem. So anything that you would, why is it that people have different interpretations to a particular provisions of the law? It is because of how you understand it, the way I understand, the way you understand. So I may be very, very, how do you call it, intransigent. Okay, I'm not prepared to. I say for me, this is how I understand the law. You say for you, that's how you understand the law. How do we resolve it? We go to court. So all this time that we are wasting, speaking a lot of unnecessary grammar, going here, going there, and all that, it will not resolve the issue. Do we want the issues resolved? Yes, we want the issues resolved. There's a place to go. And not forgetting the fact that prior to the elections, the Judicial Service launched the whole dispute, whatever mechanism, how to resolve election problems. They launched a whole manual or some whole book. Okay? And everything is stated in there. If the parliamentarian has a problem, he goes to what? The High Court within his jurisdiction. If there's a presidential problem, you go to the Supreme Court. So if John Mahama believes that certain things have not gone the right way, yes, he can make it public, right? Inform the public that, look, these are the things that I've observed, I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. I am going to deal with this matter. So lawyers, get together and let's put our documentation in order and then go to court. Whether the declaration was done properly, it was not done properly, it is not for John Mahama to say. It is not for Akufo-Addo to say. EC did it, so they can say what they did is right. But if you, a citizen, think that what they did is wrong, you go to court. But then until anyone challenges it in court, what EC has done is what will stay. And we don't need to make, as I said, unnecessary noise. This one fighting against this one, fighting against this one. It will not resolve the problem. If you want the problem resolved, we just go to court.
Yeah, but that assumption of go to court is also creating a lot of problems. Yes, I can appreciate that the court system should be the last arbiter in respect of addressing whatever disputes that there exist. But when somebody brazenly, gleefully, blatantly disregard the rules of engagement in a process, you know, and the person, after declaring that, is bullshitting you and is creating the impression that, well, I have done it. If you like, go to court. I don't care. That is it. You know, but that attitude must also be addressed, because the court system is only there to address, you know, some inconsistencies in the process which were not deliberately created. One thing. You want to say one thing? Say one thing, Doc. No problem. But I'll come back to you, Mr. Ibjari.
Yes. There's one thing I wanted to say. Kwame, let us be mindful that during the counting period, it gets to a point that Afarijan can say that, Master, with these votes, no additional votes from any other place will make a difference. And he declares even before the total numbers are out. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like with the Republican and Democratic one, once you hit 272,
You are gone.
it's game over.
Yeah, but the point is also
and it doesn't discount EC from making any amendments, or even the Electoral College in America from making any changes after the declaration. I think the American declaration from the Electoral College was done just last week.
Yeah.
Considering their voting in
November. 3rd November.
But the declaration that truly he has won came out just last week, after they did their math. You understand? So if EC comes out a couple of days later with added figures which are not making any changes to the percentages.
I wish it didn't substantially affect the challenge. But Mr. Edgar, my argument, I don't know if you are following what I'm trying to say. I can appreciate what you're saying, which is fundamentally the case. It must be the case that if you have any issues with the electoral process, you have to go to court. But also, when we create the impression that Maya, Opa, court, you know, it's also what is making people feel uncomfortable.
Well,
particularly when people are saying that this particular administration, if you look at the judiciary, have appointed as many justices to the Supreme Court as any other administration. And I think that, well, I mean, we can disagree with that. But also, there's some element of truth in there. So,
unfortunately, I have never shared these arguments that have been parading around the area that somebody has appointed all the people and what have you. To some extent, let's give some credibility to the individuals who sit there. Why do we always want to taint everything, politics in this country? Are you suggesting that the people who are sitting there are not men of conscience? They don't have conscience? I recall that this man made a case the other time, Justice Atuguba, when he was being, as it were, aligned to the NDC, right? Then he made a point. He said, look, go and check ever since he was appointed a Supreme Court judge. And look at all the judges and all the cases that came out that were political cases, MPP, NDC, and see where his rulings have gone to. Majority of his rulings were in favor of MPP. You see?
So you're saying we should just simply trust the system?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you see, that's like I keep saying that, you see, the problem that I have with Ghanaians is the fact that every little thing we have to read politics into it. So at the time that the Supreme Court judges, first of all, you should understand one thing, though. The Supreme Court judges had gone on retirement. Are you suggesting that there should not be any Supreme Court judge? The judges had gone on retirement.
Very good question.
So are you saying there shouldn't be any judge? Judges had to come there.
Within a week.
And one of the things that we must also know is that with the exception of the president, I mean, how do you call it, the Chief Justice, all other judges that come on, it's a recommendation by the Judicial Council. And the Judicial Council, they have about 19 or how many members. And come on, you're a lawyer. You should know what it takes to get to that area. They don't just get up and then appoint people. The cases, the number of cases you've done, some written exams and a whole lot of things before somebody is even nominated first to come to the, what do you call it, the bench. The Bar Association's position on that individual that is coming onto the bench, Regional Bar Association will comment, National Bar Association will comment, other independent bodies will comment before someone is put onto the bench.
Yeah.
So we needn't allow and engage this unnecessary political talk that, yes, because somebody... So as I'm saying, at a time in question, a judge has gone on retirement. So, and whose duty is it to appoint? And because it has been done, you see, because it was this president who did it. There are men and women of integrity. The fact that some one or two people may have gone to take bribe and that another video may have exposed, that doesn't mean all the judges who are there are that type.
Thank you.
Okay.
At least I would not sit down and entertain and endorse, encourage, countenance such irresponsible statements. Let's be look, it's a country we are building, though.
Yes, but institutions must work. I mean, the rules of constitutionalism tells you that all institutions must work. If there's any doubt at all about a particular institution and its operations, people must raise it. And the only way we can have a sacrosanct system, with the greatest of respect, the only way we can have a sacrosanct system is when everybody in their mind think that this particular system,
in the Donald Trump and Clinton's, how do you call it, debates, right? Then Hillary made a statement. Now, Clinton was asked the question that would he accept the results, right, when it comes? And then he says, it depends. Then Clinton made a statement that, trust Donald. If something is not going his way, it means he has a problem with the system. You get it? So yeah, I have a case. I go to court and it's not in my favor. So definitely I should have a problem with the system. So if it had gone in your favor too, you also say the same thing. You get it? But we needn't allow our personal and little sentiments, you get it, to mar the whole thing. Mar the whole thing. Because all the noise you are making, without the court,
nothing can be done.
Nothing can be done.
Absolutely.
And you still make the noise. But you want a resolution.
Absolutely.
So what do?
Absolutely.
Just go to court. Because if you say you are not going to go to court and you sit in the streets and make all the noise, does it change anything?
All right. Well, 0260846539 is the WhatsApp number. We're also streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/Pan-African Television. Also on Twitter, Instagram. We are there. Connect with us. Share with us what your thoughts are. We'll read them out for you. I've seen people watching a lot on Facebook. Share the feed so others can get the opportunity to watch. Doctor, I'll come to you, but I just want to take a quick response from Dr. Rashid Pelpo. Please.
Yeah. So this is number 10 here.
Yes. No, it's not your turn, actually. You just wanted to...
Just a quick response to that. You see, the reason judges are appointed and are suspected to lean a certain way is because of their thinking and their leaning. If you go to the United States of America, if you go to the UK, and you are liberal, and they appoint you as a liberal, and they bring cases of abortion, you will definitely support it. If you are a conservative, and they bring a case of abortion, you'll be against it, and you rule along that line. If you are in Ghana,
it hasn't been the case.
They've given... No, there are instances, actually.
if you are in Ghana, and you are appointed by an NDC person who believes in social democracy, and they bring a case that has to do with something on NDC policy, on social democracy, you are likely to lean along that line. If you are an MPP and they bring something along, okay, they are like the liberals. No, they are like the conservatives.
Yeah.
Then you rule along that line. It is not because the ruling is wrong. It is because it leans on a certain policy or a certain direction. So that's why when judges are appointed by somebody, there is, people begin to have a feeling that...
But decisions that the judges make largely hinges on the law. And like we always say, the law is the law.
You pick
what the law says is what it should be. Interpretations can be done differently, which is why even in the 2012 elections, you recall that we had 5-4, very close, right? It is subject to the judge's own interpretation of what the law should be.
Yes.
And not what your assumption should be.
Excellent.
Yes.
It's right. But I'm saying that because of that, what you're thinking is depends on the school of thought you are coming from. And that's why sometimes you see the same issue, the same judges making arguments which are cogent, which are right, which are according to the law, but which differ.
Of course.
So
and they will give you reasons why their cases...
they'll give more advanced reasons.
Of course.
But that's why I'm saying that if people are saying that when the thing go to court, that people are likely to lean this way, it's not wrong. But you must go to court. I agree with you. You just have to go to court because the court is the final arbiter. Whether the court is flooded with liberals or Democrats or whatever, it is still important for the court to take a decision.
My difficulty in respect of this matter, and I'm still staying with you, is that I have read books where the courts were inundated with cases of, for instance, biases. And, there was a certain ruling that was given, and the ruling went in favor of a certain party, and the party said it's because the judge is related to the party involved in the case, which is why the judge ruled the way they did. Now, if you read a judgment, and the judge's explanation of what biases are, it leaves no room at all for nobody to doubt that indeed there can be instances where even though the judges may have interest, their ruling will not depart from the interest that they have in the matter. So I can agree with you on that. Because on issues of biases, they say that, the fact that I'm related to you does not mean that I'll rule a certain way. But then the ruling goes that same certain way. But you cannot question it because that is within the right or in the bosom of the judge to determine what biases are. Or what.
I think you got it right now. You see, the law is in the bosom of the judge.
Absolutely.
It's a very important statement.
Well, no, not necessarily. Not necessarily. You see, some of these statements, some of these statements, people just make it. You see, there is the law and there is the law. All right? Statute law cannot be at the discretion of the judge.
You are not.
Wait. I'm making a point here. You see, when you say that the law is the bosom of the judge, then you are trying to say that the judge can decide to say what he wants.
No.
That's what I mean. No. That's what I want.
Even statutes, albeit that judges are not supposed to make laws. Yes, we know that.
They don't make laws.
And even statutes, but they interpret that statute.
Yes.
So it depends on the type of interpretation they want to do, whether it's purposive, whether it's whatever. And on the basis of that, they arrive at a certain conclusion.
Even this statement you made can be examined.
Yes.
Judges do sometimes make laws.
Yes, when statutes
that is case law.
Case law. In cases where there's no statute. To help the judge make a determination, they try to fill the gap.
So when so one of the sources of lawmaking is judicial review.
Absolutely,
common law.
Absolutely.
But I'm saying that when they say it's in the bosom of the judge, you know the law. We all see it. You should not steal.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not. You must not steal. That is a law. If you steal, this is your punishment. But you can be punished between A punishment to B punishment.
Absolutely.
The judge decides that I'll give you a middle punishment.
Absolutely.
That is where it's in the bosom of the judge.
Okay.
He then interprets it the way. So I that's why people are afraid that you might send this matter to court, but you might not get the kind of outcome you want.
Yeah, particularly when it's also a political question.
Yes, when it's political question.
Particularly when the case.
Because I know judges are still suffering now for interpreting the law.
I'm coming to you.
When the MPP took the matter to court with the pink sheet law issues, and then they ruled the 4-5. There are judges who rule in the 5 who are still suffering it now because they said you could have ruled this way. And you rule that way because you are leaning on NDC.
Not necessarily.
I'm saying that this is the judge.
I know.
The judges themselves are hitting their fellows and say, you rule this way. You shouldn't have ruled that way. But each of them, now you are saying it's normal.
No. When you say it's normal, you see, hindsight. What happens is this? It's just like the famous case that every law student will go through. Ariakoto. Yes. But there has been so many opinions after that particular decision.
Yeah.
You see, so yes, hindsight, that is why in the Supreme, in the Constitution, right, it says that when the Supreme Court is reviewing a case, they are not bound by
their previous
one.
Decisions,
yeah, because you see, certain elements will come in, and you know one of the funny things about Supreme Court, you see, it is like the facts that have been presented. You get it? So there may be certain very good things that, for some strange reasons, they were not presented.
And on the basis of that,
you can lose the case.
Absolutely.
You see, so on hindsight, certain things happen.
Yeah.
After all, it's only God that gives divine judgment.
Okay, right. Let me come to you. Mahama wants results audited, and I think that you can find a way of bringing into the argument all the things that have been said. Doc, I'll come to you thereafter. Please, let's hear from you, Dr. Admok.
All right. So once again, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Greetings to Anya Soltum, and thanks for the opportunity. To have me lead Anya Soltum in the next foreseeable 4 years and beyond. Now, the key thing here I just watched a video of former President Mahama advising our party that if the EC has done their job and we have any issues, any concerns, we should go to court. This is an advice he gave us several years ago, which means that he's fully aware of the mode of operation after elections when you have any disputes. And I beg that question. I'm wondering what has changed. The advice he gave us in 2012, what has changed? Does that advice hold now for any party? Or was this an advice just for the NPP? I will beg him. We need sanity in the country. We need peaceful post-election era. And I would advise also to the president, former President Mahama, that please, let's stop the several press conferences and just carry our case to the Supreme Court and allow the court to make the judgment. And one thing keeps ringing in my mind. I'm wondering if they have their numbers, they can put it out. I mean, nothing stops you. Put it out. And that perception that you won, prove it in numbers. And then go to court. So I'll beg, and I stand with my party, the MPP, in the sense that, listen, and as Edgar has put here, you cannot, none of the parties have a right to call an independent body to do audits. Nobody. Right. You can do your own housework, but the power and authority rests in the court to make that decision. Now, what is also even interesting is that, look at Pennsylvania. The court told Donald Trump that you don't have a merit to bring this case to court because you have to have a case, something substantial, for the court to even consider it a matter worth, making a decision on. So I will plead, once I have one of their members here, which is Dr. Pelpo, to maybe communicate to the party that, listen, yaso abre, omu wo case a omu fanko bedwemu na omaino a court and make a decision the mom. And I think, like Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo acted responsibly in 2012 and told all of his supporters that, listen, he's not happy with the EC's result, but he'll channel his grievances through the court. That was a responsible man, and I think that in retrospect, former President Mahama now has also been given that same opportunity, and he should act responsibly.
Are protests illegal?
Act responsibly.
Are protests illegal?
There's room for protest. There's room for protest, but do it in a responsible way.
I think that the people who have thrown the streets and are demonstrating, as far as I can see, have acted, quite responsibly.
Do your supporters a favor. Just go to court. Simple.
But
if you protest a billion times,
is it the only legitimate medium
through
which issues can be addressed?
No,
I think demonstrations, protests are all part of it. The Constitution guarantees us that.
The ultimate.
What is the bottom line? The bottom line is that you want this thing moved from here to here. If you go and protest in the streets and make all the
nothing
noise,
gets off.
the thing is still standing there. You can have demonstrations 30 million times. The thing is still standing there. So what is the point? Go to the court. It's only the court that can move it from where you want it to be. So why waste the time? Because, look, let me just give some. I recall on a few platforms.
The Arab Spring was never sent to court.
You see. Let me just tell you. That is a different thing.
Yeah.
That's a different thing about policy.
Yeah.
That's a different thing about policy. That is, you want the government to do something in terms of, look, we are hungry, give us food. That's a different thing. Yeah. From something that is a legal thing that needs to be done.
Okay.
I'll just tell you something here. I recall that the same thing happened when we were doing the voter registration and all that.
Yeah.
You remember?
They said they won't come
all things, blah, 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 blah. Finally, where did it get us to? You see,
Okay.
so the fact that the right to do something doesn't mean you're doing it is right.
Okay.
You want results.
I'm just
Okay.
surprised that you are all saying this.
Please go ahead.
Oh, really?
Now I'll
Why
come
do
to
you
you
surprise
because
me?
I know that you are going to talk about Kwame and a few others. But let me finish with Dr. Adama Okisi and then I'll come to you. Honorable, please. Yes. Talk. Yes.
So in finality, one, the EC has made its pronouncement, and I was trying to say one thing which Kwame, you are not getting. My point was that the EC, this is not the first time EC has called without getting 100%.
It has always been.
This is not the first time. So when they
In
get
terms of what the total
the
percentage.
total, it's not the first time.
What was the first time?
It's
I'm
every
saying
time
it is
from
not
the
the first
beginning.
time.
From the beginning,
It's
they've
exceeded
never.
100%.
No. What he's trying to say that not having gotten all the 100% votes.
Oh no, that one yes. That one yes. But there's also never been a time where an EC will make a declaration which exceeds the 100% mark. Never in the annals of you add all the votes and then you get 100 and point something percent. It's never happened before. It's also never happened. It's also never happened that the results right from the date when it was declared, that is the 9th, till yesterday, has always been transmogrified or transmogrified, like always changing.
The percentages, the changes in the percentages, is it, in your estimation, is it changing?
But it dropped. Akufo-Addo's votes dropped. Akufo-Addo's percentage, I don't know if you followed Mr. Edgar. Akufo-Addo's percentage dropped
to
50 point something, right?
And
Which means because originally it was 51 point something. They dropped to 50 point
and
something.
Mohammed's went up.
I'm not even talking about Mohammed's going up or coming down. I'm saying because the EC chairperson on the day, and I have the video, she said that even if we added the 128,000 votes from Techiman South to that of Mahama, nothing will significantly happen. Which means that Mahama can appreciate, but the Akufo-Addo's vote will remain the same. Correct?
No. It came to 50 something. They
No,
mentioned it.
If she added, it will drop slightly. I remember.
She mentioned it. It said it would drop to 50 point something.
Absolutely. So it's not so much about Akufo-Addo's vote or Mohammed's vote. It's so much about the inconsistency in the numbers, which is creating doubt in the minds of the people. Already, bear in mind that people originally had doubts about the EC and its conduct. And I said that if you are going into,
I didn't have a doubt.
People had doubts. 6 million people who voted for Mahama had doubts.
No. I mean,
So
are you saying? Well, let's be clear.
Please,
about
I'm
this.
listening to you, sir.
Are you saying that everybody that voted for the NDC is because they have doubts about the EC?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, I was.
you said many people.
No, I'm saying
No.
many people, including 6 million people.
No. You see, you don't. You see, when you do that, when you do that, I think you get the picture.
Yeah.
You don't say that. Are you suggesting that it's because people had problems with EC, that's why they voted for Mahama?
No, I've not said that.
That's what I'm saying. So be careful. Yeah, be careful with the kind of thing that is there.
I've not said that. But you see, the NDC is on the street protesting the declaration made by the Electoral Commission. The presumption here is that they have the backing of the over 6 million people that voted for them.
Oh, I mean,
That's the point I'm trying to make. So if you glean from this particular assumption and you want to make inferences, you can say that these very 6 million people are also not happy with the Electoral Commission and its conduct.
Don't overestimate. No.
Okay. All right, I'll leave it at that.
I think that
Yes, sir.
about 15 to 20 million people in Ghana registered.
Yes. 17 million.
70 million.
Yes, sir.
Registered, and that shows the engagement of people in the civil, process. Granted, less than that amount went out to vote because of religious reasons or illness or death or all those things. But I think largely we had about 12 million people participating in this voter registration, voting thing, which is commendable. And I really think that we have to come out and be very appreciative of the fact that, granted there were issues, but overall, he must admit they did a very good job on the day of
No qualms at all. No qualms. It was during the collation process that we all had challenges. But to be fair, it was seamless. The voting process was very seamless, very fluid. No, that one, I'm not sure. I think that everybody, including the NDC members, have said that. In fact, even in that VOA interview,
and let me say this.
If you listen to Mahama, he said that the EU observers report, according to him, the description that they gave or the characterization of the process is from when we started voting till when we finished. But it didn't continue from when we started collating the figures or tabulating the figures. So as for the process, we are all not in doubt at all. It was very fair.
Let me even add one thing. You know what's funny? Honestly speaking, individual parties have a right to do collation on their own, since you all get the pink sheet. Okay, so my thing is that MPP was ready by the next day with our numbers. NDC, what was the deal? Okay, they were doing presses. Fortunately, they were doing presses without coming out with this is our number. Fortunately, that is a very critical thing. If it's not that you want to throw dust in the air and things like that, when your numbers are talking to you, and there's a party that at one point was in a comfortable lead, you know, when they were clearly off. All right, and by that reputation alone, there should be more doubt even on them than the EC. If that's what I'm saying. Okay, because so it means that they failed to do their job well. In 2016, when they clearly had lost, they were saying they were in a comfortable lead. So I'm wondering where
they get their data from.
In terms of integrity, I would doubt the NDC now more than the EC, in the sense that in 2016, this party told the whole country, when they were in deficit of 1 million votes, that they had won.
No, nobody. I see the argument.
Oh.
Nobody said that. Well,
it was in the
Koku Anyido who said
but we didn't say we won.
Yeah, but in a comfortable lead at that time.
Yes, it was in the mid of the counting when the results were flowing in. What he had at the time was what he was reporting. It wasn't as if we said we had won.
So what are you reporting now?
No, but we are not talking about yesterday. We are talking about now.
Okay.
And I'm saying that, first of all, well, it's my turn now.
Sure,
Let me first of all say
One Central King Kong.
One Central has
Deep Cool.
Deep Cool is there.
Deep Cool and the rest. You know, they have done me a lot of kindness. They have done me a lot of good. They have shown that they have confidence in me. And I'm going to work as much as I've been working and even work more to make sure that the name of One Central is taken beyond the skies. And
what happened to your finger? I've been watching
it. A car door hit. Yeah, my hand was still there when the door was banged.
Yeah, strong man.
Yeah,
this thing can let you do some things, right?
Yeah,
very painful.
Very painful. I have the same thing here.
So, my best wishes and regards to my people, and let me say thank you to you, and God bless you all for this repose in confidence. It shows that my leadership has some results.
Yeah, we'll learn from you.
And congrats too.
Well, bro, how many times? 3, eh?
Oh no, I mean, what, primaries?
No, I'm talking about primaries. You think I'm talking about this one? Yeah. How many times?
That was twice.
Yeah. We wanted to take it, but
you just dashed it to him. Over 33,000 vote difference. You dashed it to him. Oh no, but that can't be dashed. 33,000 vote difference.
But let me start with the fact that when things like this happen, people demonstrate their emotions, their anger, and you can't stop them from doing that, even if it end up in court. But by demonstrating that we are angry, it happens everywhere. When George Floyd was killed, everybody knew that it would go to court. But the anger it evoked would be found on the streets.
So
that is normal.
It's accepted.
If we feel that this election, after we have worked so hard for it, 1 whole year of campaigning, in fact more than a year of campaigning, spending resources, sleepless nights, and one day somebody declared that the results are not in your favor, and we found reason to believe that this is wrong, you will find people on the streets. It's normal. The denominator had changed 3 times. And so the figure, percentage figure of Nana Addo Akufo-Addo has also changed 3 times. That shows that there was no consistency and there was no credibility in the first results announced. And so people will definitely doubt the results. And as to whether we compile our own results or not, yes, we have. And that's the basis of our coming out to say we don't agree. But when it has to go to court, we would need to do much more than what we did earlier. And that's what we are doing. As at yesterday, we have done more than 80% of the recollation of the results.
80%?
More than 80%. We have done more than 80% of the recollation. And I'm sure by Friday or by next week, we would have had the picture. And we will show you where there had been overvoting. Like you have a voter register of 900 people, and then you have 1,200 declared of people who have voted. Where is the 300 people from? You found them in Ashanti and other places. And so these are all going to come out, and is a reason we are going to go to court, for the court and the people of Ghana to see that the election had been tampered with, and the figures were also tampered with. A win can be a win, and we can all, like John Mama says, we can walk away after we have lost and go and re-plan and come back to contest again. But where there are irregularities, palpable, very, very naked ones, we definitely have to show that it shouldn't happen that way.
Absolutely.
In our democracy. We are building a nation. It's not a one-time event. It's a process. And that process must be respected. It must be clean so people don't go to war because of an election. People have confidence in the electoral system. People can say that, well, after shouting, I'm fine, let me go home and rest. The election is won. All should be given opportunity. And I was surprised when MPP, through the General Secretary, came out to say that there's no need for us to go to court, we should stop the press conferences, as if we are not in Ghana. They have done it several times because they believe that something went wrong. Another person doing it should not happen. Where is that theory coming from? So John Boydu should go back to his archives, and rethink and know that we are in Ghana and that we are dealing with human beings. Human beings have emotions. And beyond that, we cannot sit in this country with an election as serious as this, with an electoral commission not sure of the figures. You raised a very important point. If the electoral commission made the first declaration, it had no power to come back and say, I'm wrong. Let me make a second declaration. That power now rests with the courts.
Absolutely.
And not with the electoral commission chairperson. She cannot, by any stretch of imagination, take the law into her own hands and make a second declaration. It has to be done in court. So all the subsequent declarations she has made, saying she's correcting herself, are null and void. It is when she presents a case to the court and say, I made a mistake, this is now what the case is. The court will examine it and say, well, it is right. So right now, I don't know, I can't see Nana Akufo-Addo going to swear himself in. If you do that, it's illegal. But definitely they are moving towards that. Because the electoral commission said he made a mistake, an earlier mistake. Until that mistake is corrected, and can be corrected only in court, they cannot go to swear him in. And it is important for what John Mama has said, that some forensic audit has to be made. Very important. That forensic audit, if it is made or until it is made, we cannot be sure what the Electoral Commission is declaring. We cannot be sure. You see, when John Mama's votes is calculated in percentage, there is an upper numerator and there is a denominator. times 100, and then you get a certain figure. If the down figure, the denominator, is changed, that figure will also change. The percentage will also change. So if you say, I made a mistake, and you correct the denominator, and say, well, it doesn't matter, the results will be the same, it's wrong. You can never say that. So I believe that Ghana's democracy has traveled a certain length. We have come far. We have been extolled as one of the best in Africa, and we are pace-setter, the oasis of good leadership and good democracy, or let me say, impeccable democratic process. If we want to maintain it, we have to do much more than what the Electoral Commission has done. And that's why we think that no matter the outcome of the election, we need to have something we can all have confidence in. And this is not what we should have confidence in.
Are you making all of these statements and creating the impression that something untoward happened primarily because of the subsequent changes that were made by the Electoral Commission? Or ab initio, you had your own figures and you realized you had won and you were cheated? Because it appears that the narrative has now become, why is the EC changing the figures? Why has the EC changed its figures 6 consecutive times after the declaration? Is that the case? What is it?
You know, if you depend on the votes that came in, you will find there will be no need to change figures. If later on you make adjustments to give the president a good standing, you would forget that that adjustment should also pass through all the others. If you forget to do that, then your figures will be wrong. And then you will now come back to say you want to make figures. So we believe that after all has been done, they realized that the adjustment they made to give the president an edge did not flow through the others. So that created the mistake. And that is the reason, after they have gone to the drawing board, they had to do the recalibration and then to come out to say, well, we made a mistake.
Mahama in the lead?
Whether Mahama is in the lead or not,
That's the main question.
it is important for us to have clean
System.
clean system, clean figures, undisputed figures.
Okay.
If you have disputed figures, we'll be worried.
What figures did you get? Because as far as I know,
Well, I just told you that.
hold on. As far as I know, with the greatest of respect to you, sir, I think a day into the elections, the MPP started bandying some figures about on social media, particularly where they said Akufo-Addo had 51 point something percent, albeit, whether true or not. I saw that on social media, and that was the narrative, that was the communique, that was the PR strategy. You countered that with some figures as well, and indicated that Mahama was also leading. Where did you get those figures from?
Did you ask them where they got their figures from? Why are you asking me?
No, because
You
it
said
turns out that
this was because
it turns out that their figures is not radically different from what the EC declared. You said you had won. At least they have won. So it means that, well, even if it was untrue,
we think that John Mahama won with 50.5%. 50 point something
is it
percent.
50.15%?
50.15. It's 50 point something percent. I don't want to be very specific about it, but we crossed the 50% mark with the figures we collated.
At what point did you cross that 50% back?
When we have done the collation.
The 275 constituencies.
Yes, we got that figure.
With the disputed ones.
Everything. Well,
It will still be. I mean,
you see,
that's what they
remember that we were being fed with figures.
Yes.
Once the elections were
polling
done,
agents,
our polling agents sent us figures. After doing all the collation, we realized that President Mahama crossed the 50% mark. It was a big shock for us to realize that there was a declaration for Nanado, and we began to recollate the results so that we can go to court, and that's what we are on now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I see. So you've done recollection, but was there at any point that what kind of system were you using in collating your figures, or what kind of system did you use in collating your figures?
System. What do you mean by system?
No, not so necessarily. Well, you can't give your answers out. It's okay. You can't give your answers out. I can appreciate that.
Let me just speaking to Rashid makes some very serious points here, and I think that, you see, the politicians, I keep saying, there are some human beings that if you are not careful, these politicians will just destroy us. You see, Honorable talks about the position of the NDC and making reference to what the John Boydu said, right? And he's asking that John Boydu should go into the archives. Okay? Yes, that's a good point to make. But you see, I don't know whether we are all learning from these things. One of the funny clips that I also saw on social media was John Mahama. I think, I don't know when it was done, but I want to believe that probably maybe that was the 2016 time or something. When John Mahama made a statement that as a leader, you have to be careful with the kind of things you say, or as a politician, you have to be careful with the kind of things you say, because if you are not careful, they'll come back to hunt you. I mean, yeah, and these are all realities. You see, the things that have actually happened. I saw something that I felt very sad. I'm just trying to put these things together to see. I saw something that was very sad. You recall that in that 2012 election, when Akufo-Addo said he was going to court, you see, he said he was going to court. Asedu Ketia made a statement that any idiot can go to court.
He didn't say that.
You get it?
No, it wasn't for the 2012 elections.
What was it for?
It was a gentleman who... Oh, wait, no, I think it was for the 2012.
It was the 2012 election. He said any idiot can go to court.
Really?
Now, you see the reverse. And you think it is a fair statement to make today and say because Asedu Ketia said any idiot can go to court, so if Mahama wants to go to court, he's an idiot.
But if they say any idiot, it doesn't mean one person.
No.
It's a generalized statement.
Yes. So the question is idiot. That is the operating word.
Yeah. What is wrong if somebody says it is true? Everybody, if you are idiot, if you are stupid, if you are mad, you can go to court. The court is there for everybody.
And I'm asking.
Don't read meaning into it.
No.
There's nothing wrong.
Honorable. Let me just say something.
The court is for everybody.
Yes, the court is for
That's what
everybody.
he says.
I'm only saying that let's be cautious and careful with the kind of things we say when we are in power, because you see, you are there and then you are making statements, and what they are trying to say is that politicians, and I just made reference.
It's national Okino.
National Okono. But the point I'm only trying to make is that, do you think that because you're on a political platform, you can spew anything?
Edgar,
You get it?
This one, I don't think it has any relation with
correlation.
what they are doing.
Edgar,
You were saying that you did not. I made references that you said John Boydu should go and check from his archives.
But that's not the only archives.
No. Honorable. I'm only just trying to make a point that you see. The point of emphasis.
The history has a way of reminding people.
See, the point of emphasis is that you are saying that he went to court, right? So what is it that he is trying to say somebody shouldn't go to court? That is basically the refer to the archives, what basically means, right?
Let me pick your minds on this issue. I was doing a little research on this whole EC issue, and whether or not the assumption that they are in bed with the NDC is true. Now, I chanced on the EC's Facebook page, which was created in 2015. Now, the EC Twitter account at the time was following 21 people. It had about 19 point something K followers. Then I checked the people that the EC was following. Then I found UTV, Joy News, blah blah blah, NPP, EU, that's the European Union, right?
Yeah, European.
And then some commission, something. Okay, so I took a screenshot of it. Then I went to my Facebook page. Maybe, well, I'm fortunate. I'm a little powerful on Facebook. So I went there and I pulled parallel. I said, why is the EC not following all other political parties, but only the MPP? Edgar, something told me to go back on their Twitter handle. I went back on their Twitter handle. This time around, they had deleted everybody and they're following only 9 people. So they had deleted MPP and they had deleted Joy News, UTV, and all. 2015, but and I know the argument are going to make that in 2015 it wasn't created by this current EC, right? Great. How do you know that in 2015 when it was created, it was not following any political party or not? Because when I raised this issue and some media portals picked it up, immediately they unfollowed MPP. And I have the screenshots and everything here. So I just wanted to pick your mind on it. It all adds to, I don't know, I'm tempted not to think that the EC is in bed with the MPP. I'm tempted, really tempted not to. No, that's the point I'm making. That you go, Edgar, come on. For instance, if you come to Pan African Television and working with Pan African Television, and you have like 5 or 6 companies that advertise with Pan African Television, then you find the need only to follow one of the companies that market with Pan African Television. What do you think others would think?
Well, you see, as to what people want to think, it's their their own rights. Yeah, you cannot take away.
But in a situation where already there is that assumption that you are in bed with one political party, don't you think that the best thing to do, Edgar, no, honestly, don't you think that the best thing to do is to, I know this is not really a big issue, but, given the political atmosphere that we have, don't you think that the best thing to do was to at least even follow all the political parties or follow most of the political
that's
parties?
What I'm saying, that, you see, unfortunately, and I keep using the word unfortunately, we have made this country turn into a political country. So nothing will pass by that people will never read politics into it. And we keep saying that it is not a healthy thing. You see, like even the media, you want to do a program. You can't bring independent people. You have to bring somebody from a political party. Every program that is done, if you don't have an NDC man, or there must be an NDC man, MPP man. So, you setting the agenda, it means everything you are doing, and so you cannot even get a political people to come and then discuss an issue. I get your point.
I raised an issue about the following on Twitter accounts, the number of the people that the EC follows, which included the NPP at the time. I raised that issue on Facebook. The next 1 hour, it has unfollowed NPP. What does it mean?
And that is what I am saying, that, you see, why do you always want to read politics into?
But there's politics in everything.
No. The fact that a decision is made doesn't mean it's a political decision. Yes, of course. I decide that I want to eat gari photo. Okay? Yes, it's a decision I've made. But that doesn't make it political. I keep saying that, look, the little time we have on this earth is very short. Let's make good use of the time and enjoy while we live. And stop this so-called NDC, MPP business. One of the funny things is that most of these people that are following the NDC, MPP and all that, at the end of the day, one CDCF they won't get. Look, all the people who made all the noise, Akufo-Addo is coming to give his appointment. You see the people they appointed, how many of them did they see on the streets making noise? They were sitting in their comfortable homes.
Kenneth Rata was appointed.
And I'm saying that, did you see them on the campaign trail moving up and down?
Oh, that one they know.
So, John Mahama to the same. All the people John Mahama will appoint, you ask yourself the question, did you see them in the nook and crannies, the hamlets, and then the ghettos with the Okadas? Did you see them there? But then the so-called foot soldiers, they'll do it for them. So if we cannot sit down and think,
all right,
this is our own problem.
Thank you very much. 0260846539 is a WhatsApp number. Dr. Adwa, I'm starting with you on the next topic. police caution against unlawful protests, which means that protests can be lawful and unlawful, insofar as it does not offend the Constitution. It means it's lawful. So, what do you have to say to this?
I need to be clear on this. Even in all normalcy, if you're about to host a party, elsewhere you go to the council
For permit.
for permit. It's just that so happens that Ghana, we don't enforce everything. So if I'm even doing a party in my own house, I need a permit. Then how much more protest in the street? You need a permit.
As for protest, you don't need a protest. You don't need a permit. Even in America,
you need to inform the police.
No. In America, you don't even need to inform. Protests,
Protest, you need to.
Demonstrations are more cut out for.
No.
For protests.
You have to. They need to be aware of the
You
streets
can get
they're
out of
going
protest.
through.
No. Protest, you can get out of
We're
it.
talking about march.
A march or a demonstration.
I can protest by writing.
Yeah, you can
I can
protest.
by going to the media.
Okay.
I can even do one-man protest.
So this
I don't need permission.
Like what Mr. Pratt did
this
when they said
volume-
you shouldn't take a picture of
So when what's the difference then between demonstration and then protest? If I may ask.
Protest is a universal set
Yeah.
Correct.
of what you don't want and you want to demonstrate it. Demonstration can be on paper, it can be on the street, it can be anywhere. But you are talking about march on the streets.
When you are taking up the street, what is that one?
Taking to the streets is part of the manifestation of protest.
And you think you have a right to do it anyhow?
Yes, unless you don't destroy state property and other properties. You can do it.
And if I may add one thing, in case you get issue with the opposing team, who comes in?
The police.
And when the police says that, inform us so that we can make sure at least you are safe. Are the police wrong?
No, the police are not wrong. Let me even tell you, right now as we are
the
talking,
season
there
makes
is
it
demonstration going on in Wa.
correct
We are protesting the elections.
that you want.
We are protesting the announcement by the EC
Beats my
and
mind.
everything that went on that was irregular. We are angry and we are protesting. We should have
Wa.
done it on Monday.
For why?
We should have in the Wa, but it's for Upper West.
I think this,
we should have done it
even
on
beats
Monday.
my mind the more.
Let
Something
me-
you won.
Let me
you
explain
are
to you.
protesting again.
But you didn't announce that we won.
No,
If
I'm
you had
talking
announced
about the why election. I
No,
thought
not
you-
for Wa, but for John Mahama
the presidential one.
presidential.
Oh, okay.
We should have done it on Monday.
Okay.
We informed the police to take note that we are doing it. They said,
the police?
that's the point I'm making. The police told us that they are short of men. They would be ready on Wednesday. So we are doing it today.
Your safety is important.
So it is not permission,
okay.
but information.
Okay.
So that you ask a question if your opponents are against you and they also come out.
The police
And I'm
has
giving
to be
you an
informed.
explanation what happens.
Okay.
So if now our
So
opponents
let him-
come, we know that it's the police
Okay.
that are setting them.
Let him proceed, please.
So in that sense, I am not taking quote unquote the word protest as just a protest. I'm talking about the Ghanaian way of doing protest, because trust me, if you go and stand at the trade fair and hold a placard, nobody would worry about you. But you know, the Ghanaian way, we are dramatic in our protest. And in that sense, that Ghanaian sense of protest is what I'm talking about, where there are volumes of people who have to be protected by the police. And that is where I'm coming from. And I think that everybody has a right to protest. There's nothing like getting a specific law to tell you that, oh, you have a right to protest on this or on that. You are free to do. Granted, you need to take the necessary steps so that you do it in a safe manner. I'm thinking about your safety when you go out to protest. So I'll plead with all parties, including even the MPP, that if we feel we need to go and protest about anything, for our safety's sake, the police or security services need to be aware so that if anything untoward happens, we'll be protected. That's all.
Right. Dr. Rush, police caution against unlawful protests. And I'm sure it's
there's
arising out of the series of protests staged, but I don't know whether it's staged or it's natural.
This is over the top.
It's not staged.
There's nothing called unlawful protests. You protest, they should say they caution them against destruction of property.
Yeah.
That is very specific. But protests cannot be unlawful because within my democratic rights, my constitutional rights to protest, to say that I don't agree. There's nothing illegal about it. So they should re-examine that statement, and let's come to agree that democracy has come to stay in our lives and that the practice of it is a lot of burden. The challenge of democracy is that it gives a lot of freedom to the people. It recognizes the freedom of the people and their liberty to do what is right and to satisfy them as individuals and as a collective. So within the confines of democracy, we will do anything within the boundaries of the law as spelled out in our constitution. It is when we go beyond that to destroy somebody's property, to destroy government's property, to hurt another person, that is where we cannot be, your protest can no longer hold. Yeah, so all parties have done it before.
Okay.
The NPP has done it, the CPP has done it, NDC has done it. If we are doing it today, it's within the boundaries of our democratic space.
Thank you. Mr. Edgar.
Well, I'm really surprised that my brother Rashid on this particular issue. You see, sometime in the early days of I think 93, 94, thereabouts, the Supreme Court gave a ruling on this matter where it was like the Constitution has given that right to demonstrate. So yes, if somebody wants to demonstrate, the police cannot say they will not allow the people to demonstrate, right? The people want to demonstrate, you the police, you must be there. The Supreme Court gave a ruling on this matter. And after the Supreme Court ruling, the government realized that there was a problem with the Supreme Court ruling. That was under the NDC. That was Rawlence's time. So that came into being the Public Order Act. So that Public Order Act came into being. And it was like, your right to demonstrate should end at your nose. It should not disorganize my life.
But that's what I said.
No, wait, I'm coming. No. You are talking about destroying things. It is not about destroying things. It is not about that even. It is about the fact that you cannot just get up and come and say you've blocked the route and you are demonstrating. It is affecting me in my life. Right? So it means that people say we are not happy, we just go and burn tires on the road, and innocent people, somebody is going to hospital because you are saying you are demonstrating, the person should die. People cannot go to work. No, the law is against. That is why it is unlawful. That is why when you are demonstrating, you need to inform the police. It is the police that will say that, look, I don't think we have the men. So then the police will go to court. The police on their own cannot stop you from demonstrating.
Absolutely.
I don't know what Edgar is protesting about.
No, what I
said all these things.
No. Rashid, be careful. Let me remind you what you said. What you said is that so far as you are not going to hurt anybody, so far as you are not going to destroy somebody's property. And I'm saying no. It is not just destroying properties or destroying somebody. It is the inconvenience that you create to
hurting people.
Fine. Then automatically, so automatically, that right is not absolute.
But that's what I said. I cited an example.
Yes.
In my case, I said on Monday we're going to demonstrate. The police said they don't have men to police to make sure vehicles are not blocked, people are not hurt. So give us up to Wednesday. We patiently waited.
So
today.
therefore,
So it was even demonstrated with examples.
So therefore, if the police say, right, unlawful demonstration, you should understand, because they have told you that we don't have it. Wait to Wednesday, and you had to wait, which means you could not just get up and do it.
It is not demonstration. It's not protest.
Whatever
it's demonstration.
protest or demonstration, whatever it is. No,
you are confused. Just
no, Rashid, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something here. What we say is that the rights that each and every individual has stops at his nose, because your right should not affect some other person's freedom. You get it? So if you are going to demonstrate, and you say you are going to demonstrate using the N1 from La Paz to Tetekwase, you want to demonstrate, fine. But that does not give you the right to stop other road users who want to use that road. That is where the police come in, Kwame, to make sure that...
Let me just say something. You see, I first of all said there's nothing called illegal protest.
Unlawful protest.
Unlawful protest. But we are talking about demonstration, which is just one of the ways by which you want to protest. I'm not saying protest, demonstration. Demonstration, you need permission. Or not permission. You need to inform the police. You can do it to hurt people. But if your protest is just about what Kwesi Pratt did, walk on the street with this, you don't need anybody's permission to do that. I'm not talking about demonstration. I was talking about protest.
You see. There's
so
something
there's
something known as public nuisance, and it's in the criminal code. The fact that you can just get up and then maybe I have a placard, and then I can go and stand at the junction and then distribute it or make everybody see, right? If it is offensive to people,
like pornography.
Yes, you can't just do it.
But you cannot be...
No, but that is somebody's protest. That's what I'm saying. That you see, let's get some of these things. No, let's get some of these things clear. The point of the matter is this, that, as I said, that there is a Public Order Act. There's a law in this country which guards some of these things.
That's why we go to police.
You see, wait. So you know that you go to the police, which means you can't do it just like you wish. That is why you are going there. Okay. You get it? So you must understand that.
I think we will disagree to agree on this subject.
And I'm writing articles and saying I'm protesting. How is it against the law?
Even that
if I'm protesting and I'm singing a song that is a protest song, I'm writing a poem that is a protest poem.
Wait, why do you think
so I'm saying that word protest...
Rashid, I think you've been in that office before. That office, what's the name? Cinematography or whatever they call it. No, you know, as you said, writing a song and all this stuff. You believe they go through vetting.
Where?
If you go and say something that insinuates...
No. Look, maybe like you are saying that in Ghana.
But you are hitting
no, you see,
tribal...
No, you see, in Ghana, that's why we keep saying that maybe in Ghana, we just do things and then forget about the law. But before you publish anything like that, you sing, cinema and all that, they must go through that. It's under the Ministry of Information.
Acts.
My brother. You don't just get up and then put things on the
Nobody censors people in Ghana here.
No, in Ghana, no.
Nobody censors people.
That's censorship. I don't think he's talking about censorship.
Look,
even
go through for them to approve. Nobody does that.
Why then don't you show pornography freely?
But pornography is against the law.
Exactly. That's the point I'm saying. That
singing a song is not against the law.
No. It depends on the song.
But that one, you are.
If there are tribal sentiments, you are
hurting people.
All right.
There is a law. You have to go through.
Gentlemen, let's proceed. Well, that brings me to a very crucial topic, which is probe all electoral crimes. 16 CSOs are charging the police. And I think, Edgar, I want to start with you on this one.
When are we getting to the car issue?
Oh, we'll get there after this one.
I don't think, you see, we like grammar too much in this country. You see, the police have a duty to do. They are clothed with certain powers, and they have, certain jobs that are required of them. But unfortunately, for us, our laws in this country, these criminal things, you know, we have put this thing there. What's the name? That so-called power that the Attorney General has. That is one of the biggest problems that we have in this country. You see, the Attorney General's power. When the criminal issues are prepared, the docket is prepared, and it is sent to the Attorney General's office for advice. And then the Attorney General says that I'm not interested in, you know, prosecuting this matter. I think these were some of the problems that the nation was suffering. Hence the coming into being of the Special Prosecutor's office. And that one too, you don't know, you can't even touch that office is like today, you know. But you see, the power to prosecute criminal matters is in the hands of the Attorney General.
Absolutely.
So when you have a human being like our Kumsi goes out there, parades with a gun, and the Attorney General fails to have Hawa Kumsin prosecuted, and the sad aspect too is the president, who throughout his life, human rights advocate, strong man. I remember Nana Akufo-Addo in the period of 93, 94, 95, making all kinds of serious noise against the existence of the commandos, the 64 people, the guns and things and all that. Nanado was a very strong advocate. Which platform he wouldn't use. Made all these statements. And you have Hawa Kumsin misbehaving like this, and the president sits down. Man, where else? Because you see, in other words, this is what the law says. The law says the power to prosecute is in the hands of the Attorney General. And I recall some years back, Palava, Jojo Bruce, he did a story. And he asked the question, who prosecutes the Attorney General? You see, and maybe people would have just looked at it because, but it's a serious question. Who prosecutes the Attorney General for failing to do what is right? Don't forget, the government can even start it and tomorrow come and say, nolly prosecute. And then where do we go as a country? You see? And that is why that independent office was so crucial and important. But unfortunately, the establishment of that office also limited the powers of the special prosecutor. So there are certain cases that the special prosecutor did not have the powers to go into. So these things that we are talking about, prosecute or whatever that it's I mean, it will go nowhere. You see, yes, that is the sad aspect of it. It's going to go in nowhere. Because if, for instance, here's a situation that we are being made to understand that some people, is it Techim and South, some two people lost their lives or so?
Yeah, Techim and South.
Who has commented on the people who made those gunshots? And then, how do you call it? I heard that, this is it Odo or something?
Yeah.
They said one guy called Kula. Kula, they said he's what's the name?
National Security?
No. Lord Kwame's bodyguard or something. Right? The police are sitting down. How lawful? You see? And this is a pure criminal matter. But then the point is this. The AG. Why is it that the AG has not taken this matter seriously? You see? You see the area politics is sending the country to, and I keep saying that we needn't entertain and endorse these things. Because Kwame, you'll be sitting down tomorrow, you just be driving your car, somebody can stop you.
Charlie.
You are the Kwame boy, and then give you some dirty slap.
If you try that, I'll gun you down.
But you say and give you a dirty slap and then walk away. Because at the end of the day, he is in power.
That one there, if the nonsense,
It might happens.
we are in power. You're buying a also.
You see?
Hey,
So if these little things,
no, but that thing must end. You're buying a also. You can't even get jobs to do because somebody says you're buying a also.
wait a minute. You see, when they tell you that Kufuor made a statement, you see, well, Kufuor made a statement and then or see, if to be a messenger in a ruling party,
it's better than
a glorified general secretary in the opposition party.
Anyway,
you see,
yeah.
So
right.
we are in a real situation, and I think that
Okay.
this special prosecutor's thing must be re-looked again.
Okay.
Must be re-looked again, and don't limit the powers to those kind of what do you call it, procurement matters and things.
Yeah. To him.
Right? He must have the power to do some of these prosecutions. You get it?
All right.
Because if it were some ordinary human being that went to pull a gun somewhere,
Like the mafia.
the mafia.
Dr. Advocacy.
Yeah.
You're buying a also.
You know, when you have,
And you know what people who say you're buying also. You remember Edgar in one of the submissions, he said, "Oh, what you're buying also? Once the problem you be."
all the it's good. It's good.
I'm buying a also now, but this kind of bank also does not go to us movies.
Oh my goodness.
Kwame, Papa dear. Papa dear,
there's this guy who lives in the Eastern region. You know, obviously, Eastern region is MPP. Then the guy said, when MPP won, he called him, said, 4 more. He said, what's here? What's not for this guy? Who's not on 4 more? For 4 more, return your DD.
It's a general benefit to the whole country. But on a lighter note, I think Ghana were maturing politically, and I must not just commend the EC, but I think Ghanaians on the whole, in terms of how we conducted ourselves in the voting process and how we've conducted ourselves after the win. I mean, I'm preaching that more parties be thrown, and let's invite all to come. You know, the NDC is welcome to all of the NPP parties. You know, come and let's have fun, because Ghana has won.
Yeah.
When one party wins, it's for Ghana. And at the moment,
Nanado said it.
my president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is your president. He's won the election, and in that sense, I'm entreating you to also invite the MPP to your party in Wa. When you hold it, we'll come and celebrate with you. It's in order.
We'll invite you to our protest.
No. I said party. I'll be holding a small one at my party office on Sunday.
Oh, great, awesome.
From 2 p.m. All are invited.
I'm sure Edgar is the chairperson for the occasion.
to come and have fun. And we are celebrating the win for Ghana.
Thank you.
And more importantly, the good thing that.
Sorry, are we going to be playing?
We didn't pull out.
I want us to play my favorite song. Oh, Ghana!
My goodness.
No, but
that's a
very good song. But that's a very good song.
Bad man.
No, Kwame, on a more serious note, Rash, let me ask this question. In 20...
You shouldn't be serious,
No, I'm not being serious. It just dawned on me, and then I said, hey, let me ask this question. It's a very serious one. You see, in 2018, 2013, right, when Mahama was being sworn in,
Yeah.
the MPP guys. No, but you did not attend you boycotted the swearing in.
Yeah,
You boycotted
that's true, yes.
Official.
Yes.
They say they don't recognize him.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But he's
So-
still our president.
Oh, no problem. So I want to ask Rash.
Would they also
Oh my goodness.
No, there's no president in Ghana.
No boycott.
Oh, there will be no swearing in. We don't hope
We
that.
are
There's no president elected. There's no president.
Okay.
You know the funniest thing? There are MPs elect, but there's no president elect. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you, Mr. Gary. Please.
Pan-African.
But I'll give you the
In
invite.
fact,
I'll give you the invite
in
for
Wa-
the inauguration.
You fans,
I hope
In Wa and everybody are called in the Upper West region. We are listening to Pan Africa. As for Joy, don't. Sorry. As for the other TVs, don't listen. Though, if you want the truth, go to Pan Africa. And everybody was glued to Pan Africa.
Charlie, what is the champagne from my
Yes.
crew on almost and my returnee?
too sure.
Yeah.
Because you were broadcasting the true story.
Yes, thank
and
you.
you were telling the true story. So everybody was saying Pan Africa. You know, the others were letting NDC down.
No, but you know one of the things. That is why it's always good to wait, because you know one of the funny
wait to-
is one of the funny things.
You have
is
to
this.
wait.
One of the
That's
funny
what we
things that depending on who is reporting from where, you get it. So let's take what do you call it? Two very known cases. If you have somebody reporting straight from the Volta region, automatically you see NDC leading.
Absolutely.
And you have somebody too reporting from
Eastern.
Asante region.
Asante region, people will be
Right.
listening.
So what is going to happen is this. Maybe the one who is reporting from Asante region is reporting to UTV.
Yeah.
And then the one who reporting from Volta region maybe is reporting to Pan Africa. If you don't understand these mechanisms, somebody will say somebody is lying.
Yeah. But they are all representing
But
their
they are
facts.
from different areas.
We wanted, you know how sometimes we are so focused on the numbers that we forget that there are other things happening. So we were looking at the other things that were happening as opposed to collating the figure, because remember the EC came out to say that we should wait. All media houses should not be in a hurry to project. I don't know if you remember this.
Of course, yeah.
So I was surprised that the EC actually didn't even question why the other media houses were projecting.
No, you cannot. No, you see,
I get it. No,
it's an appeal.
Let
It's an appeal that you can make to them, but you cannot stop them from doing whatever
what we
they do.
tried to do was to look at the other issues that other people were not looking at. That's what we tried to do, and I'm happy people liked it.
Yes, because so some of this is as I said, if at the time when Koku Anyidohu made that statement, right, he was probably not getting the results from the same areas that the MPP guys were getting.
He said we are in a comfortable lead.
So when he said he was in a comfortable lead, he
It was
knew
still afternoon, not evening when there's.
he knew where he was coming from.
All right.
So you know some of these things, you got to be careful with that.
This
message,
national security coordinator.
Hold on.
We're targeting you